Warning, what you are about to hear will disrupt the norm. We are the voice of the social misfit. We empower the outliers.
Nah, don't run from the discomfort. You need to stay in it. Feel the feels and feel some type of way. Let it hit your core, because that's where our healing and our change begins.
System malfunction. System override. I'm feeling triggered!
We're live.
We live.
Yep.
Hey y'all, it's your girl Lauren.
And I'm your boy Jarrell the Griot.
And welcome to Feeling Triggered, where we gonna talk about some things. You're gonna feel some type of way, but that's kind of the point.
That's the point. That's the point, man.
All right. This is a special edition though
Why so special, Lauren? Why is it so special?
This is a special edition. I don't even know where to begin because we have so many plans for 2022.
So much stuff, man. So much stuff.
But
I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna let you start.
I'm gonna start it, but I feel like
just take it back from January, because you know what I'm saying. It's February right now. We're shooting this in January, but it's February right now for the viewers watching. So let them know what's happening in January. What happened?
Y'all, we got a brick and mortar.
Let's go.
Y'all can come see us. You can meet the fam.
Pull up.
So we have SLOTH Wellness Lounge open, readily available for all of your arts, all of your entrepreneurship, all of your emotional wellness. We've got classes, we've got events, we've got therapy.
Yes, sir.
I mean,
it's too much. It's too much. This is a long time coming though. Can we just relish in that for a second? Like, so I just started therapy, guys. I'm about a month in right now.
Won't he do it?
He will.
Won't he do it?
He will. And it's been a long time coming for that too. But I just think like 2016 is when we first formed this collaboration. About 6 years later.
That's crazy right there.
We in a brick and mortar. We in our own venue.
6 years of grinding, 6 years of prayers, 6 years of contracts. Just, oh my God.
It's crazy. It's crazy. So it's dope, man. It's dope. All right, so we open the gym.
So the SLOTH Wellness Lounge is open, the end of January. And of course we have to hit the year off with a banger. We have to give y'all all the dope, innovative ideas. Find them at the SLOTH Lounge. February is super special because, of course, it's Black History Month.
It's Black History Month.
It's the month of love.
Absolutely.
Connection, all the feels. This is the feeling month.
This is the feel the feels. Like we always feel the feels. So how you feeling in the month of feeling? How you feeling?
Man, I'm excited.
Right.
I'm just in a posture of excitement and expectation. I just know that now that we're here, we're planted, we're rooting, the community is going to come. Because I feel like we've been putting in so much work, come up with ideas, with programs, with concepts, that now's the time to just lay them all out on the table.
Absolutely.
We'll reveal our cards little by little.
Little by little.
But they're all bangers.
Because we don't want to overwhelm y'all. We ready.
I mean,
we ready. We locked and loaded. But we don't want to overwhelm y'all. So we just going to unfold and unravel these plans as the year goes out, because we got plenty. Every quarter is stacked, bro. Like we good. Like we good, man.
I'm so excited. I'm really excited because I know that the community needs this. Like growing up, so Prince George's County is hometown for us. So the fact that we're in a posture of position to actually continuously give back to our community and actually provide programs, initiatives, classes, workshops that we needed when we were younger, it's just a good feeling.
It feel real good, man. It feel real good. And like I said, my addition for this, like this whole year, my word is release. You know what I mean? Oh, y'all.
I don't know if y'all can see this.
You got the release on the
wait. I can't. I'll have to take a picture.
It's all good. We'll make sure she get. But release is the word, man, because like you said, we've been like cultivating and incubating for like so long. Been kind of under wraps. A couple of people get the exposure. A couple people, have taken the bite out of what we got going on early on. And of course, those are the people who are going to be benefiting the most, because they become a part of the team. They're part of the family. Shout out to our Propel bosses. You feel me? Y'all already know. We just met with y'all. We actually just met with me and y'all today. Matter of fact.
Yep.
The day that this is airing,
Mm-hmm.
we'll be meeting with our Propel bosses for the first time of the month.
Yep.
We got some other stuff too, but we're gonna talk about that later in the episode.
Oh, let me say my word for the year since you said your
facts,
word for
facts.
the year. My word for the year is curate.
Ooh, that's a good word.
Curate. Because my word for the year last year was consistency. So I did a lot of things consistently, but now I really want to figure out what things I actually want in my life, whether it's items in my house, whether it's food that I eat, whether it's what I listen to or how I digest or who I spend time with. I want to be very selective and very intentional with what I do. Same for my business. Get very focused and deliberate about what we're giving to you, which is why I'm really excited about the month of February because it's very intentional. He's going to be able to tell you all about it.
We're going to get to that. But it's crazy, man. It's crazy. we like you said, you see the excitement because it's been so much work. It's been so much, restless nights of trying to get ideas out of your head. And as Lauren said, curating for the opportunities that have been presenting themselves, man. I'm just blessed, man.
Yeah.
I just feel real
Toast
blessed.
to the-
Yeah, facts.
Clink, clink.
Clink, clink. Yeah.
What we sipping on today?
This is a Cabernet.
Oh, okay.
2020 Cabernet.
All right.
Shout out to my moms because actually somebody bought this for her, but she don't really partake too much. I'm more of the wine connoisseur, so I just took it off her hands,
Right.
man. But she's donated.
Such sacrifice.
Right. She's donated to the Feeling Trigger podcast plenty of times. So shout out to her.
Boom.
Shout out to Artesian Enterprises because that's our partner in all things.
And that's actually the venue spot that the Wellness Lounge is at. So if you're interested in seeing who is Artesian Enterprises, we've heard so much about them. Come to the SLOTH Wellness Lounge and meet them.
Yeah, man. And if you're not in the area where you can't, just go back and check out our podcast episode where we featured her.
We done did so much stuff.
Yeah, man. Hey, can you believe? Listen, why I was on Facebook, right? Mm-hmm. And you know how they give you the memories? January 11th was the first promo for Feeling Triggered. So it's been a full year.
Shout out to applaud to
Shout
us.
out to us for having a full year, never missing a month.
No.
And
some
now-
months we did more than one.
Some months we did more than one, and it's man, and it's only going up for him. Like I said, we going, and she used the word curate, man, and I said release. So we curating things, and then we getting it out to the world. So we got so much stuff coming, bro. So much stuff.
Dang.
Yeah, man. I don't even know.
I don't even know either, but that's a good segue into our trigger warning topic.
But before we do that, shout out to our new virtual set. Okay.
Oh, right.
Shout out. I know y'all see it. For the love of the people.
You see
it.
us, right? You see them logos, right?
You see, of course, about that Artful Conductor logo down there. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that a little bit later, too. But yeah, let's go ahead and hop into this Feeling Triggered.
Okay, so the way we applauded for ourselves in that moment really triggered me to talk about something that I wanted to talk about. So Jarrell is going to tell you eventually, but the whole theme of Propel Bosses this episode is really special, and it's going to be under the umbrella of this theme for the love of the people.
Absolutely.
So Feeling Triggered, we talk about all the feels as far as being a Black business owner and an entrepreneur. So it only is right that we talk about for the love of Black business today. So there's a couple questions we're going to pose one another, and we're going to talk about it because I like that we were applauding because we don't applaud Black businesses enough. Like, we don't clap for ourselves enough as business owners. We don't clap for ourselves enough as business supporters. So I want to take some time and maybe shout out our favorite Black businesses, give them their roses now. If you know their handle or whatever, then that's fine if our viewers want to watch. But I just think we need to take a moment, especially during Black History Month, to really celebrate our Black businesses.
Yeah, man, because they get a bad rap, man. But I start, y'all already know who I'm shouting out. Shout out to Propel Production Center. Shout out to Propel Production Center. Just because what you trying to do in the community, man, like, I'm gonna say it again. In my therapy session, we talked about how, we've always talked about how like taboo mental health was. I feel like it's a was because it's really becoming a past tense thing. We really, as a community, are starting to embrace the whole idea and understanding around mental wellness. And I feel like it's changing lives. And I feel like personally, I've watched and actually been privileged enough to be a part of Propel Productions as we are changing that narrative around mental health and mental wellness and impacting, man, in the smiles, the embraces that we get from various people of all walks of life, all different types of artists, other Black entrepreneurs. Like, it's amazing to see like how this transition is starting to happen and we starting to really get some traction and letting people know that it's okay to not be okay. And it's so much, so many resources out here that we were completely unaware of that we offer. Y'all wasn't aware. We're aware. Right. Y'all wasn't aware.
Exactly.
But it's so many resources from like our Propel bosses that's literally focusing on the wellness of entrepreneurs and artists. We got Lauren doing a bunch of like clinical work. We got so many arts programs. We mental smash room. It's so many things that we are bringing to this area that people need to start utilizing, man. So shout out to Propel Production. That's my highlighted Black business.
Dang. Well, I really appreciate that because sometimes when you're in it all day, every day, and you're working, you don't really think to stop and be like, oh, I did a really good thing. Yeah. I did a good job. Yeah. You don't say that to yourself often.
Yeah, but and that's the thing that I'm actually working on. That's one of my goals for 2022 as well, like to celebrate myself more, relish in those moments of accomplishment. Cause when you really get in that driver's seat as an entrepreneur, and you taking it serious, like this is my life work at this point, this is my purpose work at this point. So when you get in that space, it's kind of hard to stop and smell the roses. Like as soon as I finish something, it's like, okay, what is next? What do I have to get done next? And sometimes you just gotta stop and be like, yo, good job, bro. Like you really did that. And people enjoy whatever it is that you brought to the table. Whatever network you've influenced or whatever. So I agree with you.
Well, on that note, I'm gonna hype up the Griotsphere real quick, just because I really appreciate Jarrell and his perspective on really, really wanting to tell Black stories and not the traditional regular stories you see like on TV or BET or anything like that, but really heartfelt, really intentional stories. I love that he chose the name Griot for himself because he really embodies a storyteller. And I love the perspective that he takes behind the lens. He does pretty much all of the commercials, all the shoots, all the videos, music videos from Beautiful Like Me, and just to see you grow as an artist too. Everything has been stepping up. The production has been stepping up. The logos have been stepping up. The vision has been stepping up. So I'm just excited. I'm gonna hop in the elevator with him and we just gonna ride.
We going to the top.
So I'm really excited. So the production that you see today.
Oh, come on, man. Come on, guys.
I'm just so proud. I'm so proud.
She's like a proud mom. She's mom slash big. Like I always say, she's the big sister I never asked for.
But the one he needed desperately.
That's always the punchline. Always, man. Whatever.
Okay, what else?
But yeah, so you was talking about something that's somewhat triggering. Is in all this work and all this passion that we're putting into our businesses as individuals, as collectives, even working with other entrepreneurs, Black entrepreneurs. And it's like you hear people outside of this space sometimes, and I'm not gonna say everybody, it ain't everybody, but people be saying like little slick little things about Black business.
You're right.
And what kind of makes me a little bit uncomfortable is because you don't hear them talking about that, with the other man. You want to talk about the brother man, but you don't really be saying too much about the other man. And at least with the brother man, that this is impacting the community. Like what we're doing, even if you are a completely for-profit business, like I'm a production company, so I'm technically a LLC, a for-profit business. Of course, a lot of the things that I do is in partnership with Propel, which is a non-profit business. But, you know, even whether it makes money or it doesn't make money, whether your, you know, intentions is to make money or not, like, we have an impact on the community because not only are we bringing services, but we're bringing economy. We're bringing revenue into the black community. Like, you're getting to spend your money with people that are like you. You know what I'm saying? Our interests align with yours. You know what I'm saying? Like,
This is true.
but it doesn't always
facts.
seem like people grasp that concept. Like, I don't know. Would you like?
No, I definitely agree. There are some reoccurring myths. For example, folks talk about customer service of black business. They talk about timeliness of black business. And it's, I don't know, I guess bottom line is really heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Because when you think about the scope of who we are as a people and how far we've come and so much that we've done with the so little that we've had, and for us to even have black businesses that are flourishing and thriving, and then that be met with so many negative things to say, it's very heartbreaking. And it's exhausting too, to constantly, well, not constantly, but to be exposed to such negative energy directed to a very small niche that you belong to is just painful. So I like to check, if it's on social media, I like to do a little
Hey guys.
call and response.
Just so you know, like, you know what I'm saying?
A little call and response.
I feel that. I feel that.
Whether I know the black business or I don't know the black business, I like to stand up and advocate for them because it's not okay. And there's not a lot of people standing up and advocating for black businesses. And there's a lot of myths spreading. So when you talk about, oh, let's do business with black businesses, there's already a bad taste.
Yeah, it's like it's almost comes with like a negative connotation.
That's the word.
To the point where it's like you are kind of, I guess the consumer is almost like on guard, like ready to be disappointed by what's happening. And it's like you go to McDonald's, the drive-thru be backed out the, you know what I'm saying, back out the
Right.
parking lot, and you know they get your order wrong. You may say something to the most likely black or brown face that's in the window, but you don't cut off or you don't excommunicate from the entity,
Yep.
which we know for sure most likely ain't one of us. So it's like, but then you go to like I know you heard of Untitled Chapter. Shout out to them, another black business.
Yep.
Dope food, bringing a lot of creativity to the culinary space. But like I've seen, like, you know, because they do a lot of interesting things, to say the least. They do a lot of interesting things. And you know, everything ain't for everybody. So we're not saying that just because it's a black business, you have to use them or you have to support them. But don't do the opposite. Like, don't pull them down.
Yeah.
I seen like so many comments, you know, why y'all gotta put say on everything, like, cause that's what
I'll say that's in line with their brand.
that's what he
That's
decided
what
to do. Like,
why
you mad at them? And like I said, it just comes from a space of like I feel like they be waiting and ready to downplay it. Like, you don't give the same grace to these small, and not to mention most of these have very, very small infrastructures. Like the Griotsphere, we collaborate. And we have people that assist in some entities. Most of the time, other black businesses that have their own business that they're trying to run. So, as terms of on staff, it's just me. Like, so when I'm trying to deliver services or instruction or training, whatever, it's just me. When you think about it's a one-man show, I can't do everything. So, give me a little grace.
Right.
Another
thing, another concern is sometimes I see on social media or hear conversations about price point as far as black businesses. Like, oh, it's so expensive.
That part.
You can't get me no discount.
That
What
part.
can I get a little whatever? And it's just so insulting to the owner and their craft and how many years or how many hours they've spent really figuring out how they can deliver the best that they possibly can, whether it's a product or a service. And the fact that they come, folks come into their space and ask for them to lower their worth, because that's what it boils down to.
In essence.
You want them to dim their light and to lower their self-worth in order to accommodate whatever kind of budget you had set. And that's not okay.
Mm-hmm.
There's been times where I've pitched my prices and I've been hit with you can't do a discount, you can't like waive this and that. No, I cannot, because this is at the end of the day, although we want to serve the Black community, we love our community, we want to see them flourish, and thrive. That's what I was. But I still have bills.
Because we offer grace. See what I'm saying?
Thank you.
So even in your speech and delivery, we go offer grace to you.
And that does not, even if I stumble, it doesn't diminish my worth. The prices, matter of fact, the prices went up this year.
Okay. Because yesterday's price ain't today's price. Shout out Fat Joe, another Black artist and entrepreneur.
So, no, I have meals, I have ends meet that I need. I have bills that I need to pay. I need to be able to sustain my household and my livelihood. Mm-hmm. And if I have vision and goals for myself, I plan on not working 24/7, 365, although that's kind of, unfortunately, the myth behind entrepreneurship. But nevertheless, my prices are my prices.
Yeah.
And you're either going to be able to afford them or you're going to have to find somebody else. But I tell you what, if you can't afford the drip as far as the arts, the wellness, the entrepreneurship, that I'm sorry, but
what's even crazier is because you said like they're basically lowering your worth, and it's like it's not even to say that they don't value your skill, because, and maybe I'll be blunt in saying this and I'll take whatever smoke comes with it, but I feel like it's literally because it's wrapped in Black skin that you feel like you don't have to pay as much for it, whether it be the brother man or the other man. And it feels even worse when it is one of us, because you understand what we out here fighting against, and you still like, but nah, like if you support the like, bruh, no, bruh, like,
no.
You see this equipment, and I'm pretty much a production minimalist at this point. I'm working with the very little stuff that I have, and I want to continue to expand so I can do bigger and better things. But I can't do that if every time I step in a situation, you're expecting to get like and what's even crazier, they ask for the discount, but still expect the quality as if you paying top dollar. And it's like you can't. What's the triangle? We talked about the triangle before, I think, on here, where it was like it's got the quality, it's got the time, and it's got the cost.
Oh, okay.
You can only get 2 of those. You can never get all 3.
I had my clinical brain. I was like, thoughts, feelings, behaviors. You talking about CBT?
Lord.
That triangle.
No. The consumer triangle. It's going to be. It's either going to be, if it's fast and good, it ain't going to be cheap. If it's fast and cheap, it ain't going to be good. And if it's good and cheap, it ain't going to be fast.
Oh, okay. Write that down.
Write it down. But that should be expected across the board in any type of consumership that you're a part of. Like, you can't expect to get everything for nothing.
And I agree with what you said about the Black skin. In addition to that, I think that our line of work also adds another X, and as far as what's counted against us, because we're Black artists, we're Black mental health professionals, we're Black educators. Those are if you had to look at the spectrum of all the different existing careers, those are the ones that already get get slighted as far as financial worth versus all of the other. And we can already rattle off the more higher end paying gigs.
Right.
So we're Black artists and Black mental health experts. They're already looking like that. So and it's not on us. It's not our fault, and it's not us that needs to compensate for this mindset. It's essentially the community that needs to be educated and informed in order for the mindset to shift and see our value. Yeah. There's equity in the arts, and there's equity in wellness, and we here, and y'all need to pay these prices.
So now this might be completely, I won't say necessarily contrary. I don't mean for it to be contrary to the topic we just said. But another very triggering thing for me is this sell your knowledge movement that's happening. I think, across all markets, but I feel like the prominence of it being in the Black community, once again, understanding the obstacles that we're facing to try to break into any industry, this idea that you are charging people who are literally seeking some level of knowledge about a particular industry, charging them an arm, a leg, a foot, they left ear, a kneecap, like all of that, just for you to go, do this, and this. I'm like, bro, I could have looked that up, but you basically financially raping people who are trying to get, into a particular industry. So from that space, it's like, if you're offering a service, I feel like your worth is there because you got overhead, you have, like you said, a livelihood and all that stuff. But literally exploit, that's what I feel like is more so exploiting people who are seeking to be doing what you're doing. Mm-hmm. So for example, if I watched you work with plenty of interns, work with plenty of volunteers that are just like, hey, I remember, what was that? Oh, at the Art Hills Fall Festival when we was meeting with Low Views. Shout out Low Views. That's another Black artist. Go check him out. Yep. I think it's at _LO Views on Instagram. Shout out to him. But he came with his team and one of his friends was like, she was in school for mental health. And you was like readily, and I was like, that looks so good. Like you was readily like, oh, you in the mental health? Oh yeah, give me your number. Let's talk. And she was almost like surprised. Like you saw her face light up by that. And I feel like, why don't more of us carry that type of energy with, like I said, not necessarily devaluing our service, but trying to put up more barriers for people to get to the next level. Why you think we move like that?
Yo, I've got so many feelings off of what you just said. Some of it I agree, some I don't agree. I see where you're coming from, and I respect it. So that's all of the feelings I have.
Yeah, because it's a balancing act, but.
So I feel like specifically in the mental health space, which is what Propel is in, there's already this expectation that most of the stuff, if not everything, needs to be free. And it's really hard to set barriers. It's very much, the giving is very much so a slippery slope. Mm-hmm. And starting off early, just being an excited social worker, I wanted to just give and pour and tell and help. And then I was like, now I need to find a 9-to-5 because all the stuff I've been doing didn't bring in any revenue. Yeah. So figuring out that balance between freely giving, but also putting myself first and the financial needs of myself is a very difficult thing. And I don't think new entrepreneurs have that mastered yet, right? Because I think the new entrepreneur is very much so like, I need to hustle. I need to figure out how to become very transactional with my services and my experience. Right. Everything needs a price because I need to make money. And that's fair. You don't work. I mean, the only reason why I feel like we work is to make money. Right. So I totally get you want some type of value assessed with your effort. However, there definitely, I agree, there definitely needs to be space where it's more communicative and there's more of a community. Yeah. And there's more of a let the whole tide rise so all of the ships can rise versus I got to worry about me and mine first and then figure it out on your own. And I cannot stand, I've actually fallen victim to a couple of entrepreneurs that present really well. And so you're like, okay, yeah, I want to get this workbook. I want to get this class. I want to see this. And then you finish and you're like, you didn't tell me anything. I learned about your story, but that's about it. So I think that is kind of, you said exploiting. Yeah, it is taking, certain ones. But then there has to be balance. It has to be balanced.
But I think you said a really good point is like it's ensuring that all boats are rising with the actions. Because like I said, to go back to the example, it's like I'm willing to help you if you're willing to put work in as well. So it's like, you know, an intern, for example. Now, granted, you know, even with that idea, that has become exploitive. Like, where people like come intern for me, and basically they got you doing all the brute work for absolutely nothing. But I'll be completely willing to be in situations working alongside somebody that I know has expertise and experiences that I don't, and understanding the value in that, to say I'm willing to do work that I might not necessarily get paid for the sake of getting some of that experience and that information. And like, when you present in that fashion, I feel like that's just as valuable to me. You know what I'm saying?
Because that was transactional. I do this work, I get this knowledge or this experience or this leverage. I get to use your name. So it's still when you think of work, it still has to, in order for work relationships to be successful, I think it does have to be transactional. Even with you and me, I feel like, I think we have such a quick exchange rate. It almost feels like
we did the most,
but we have one,
the most generic of MOUs ever to be written. It's just like, you know what you do, I know what I do, we know what we cross. You cool with that? I'm cool with that. All right, let's go. It's just, and everything else has been seamless. But I feel like because we started from a place of, I see what you offer, I value what you offer, and vice versa. So when we're bringing our ideas, when we're bringing our services, when we're bringing our experience to the table, like you said, it is somewhat transactional. It is an exchange that's happening, and we're both benefiting, and both boats are rising because we're collectively rising the tide, or raising the tide. I feel like you said, a lot of the new entrepreneurs are stepping in the game, and a lot of the, what I call the trendy entrepreneurs that are just like that's like the sound of that word. It's not really an embedded ideology, and I feel like it's even more precise of a mood, precise of an approach that you have to have when you put that word black in front of it. Like, we got a different battle to fight. You know what I'm saying? With other entrepreneurs, I feel like they almost have the privilege of moving in a space to where it's like, there's always room for more. You know what I'm saying? There's always room for more. Everybody can get some. And I feel like because we don't initially have that thought, like, scarcity of resources is exactly that. And that's what kind of pits even us as Black entrepreneurs against each other, because we feel like it's not enough to go around.
I'm glad you said that, because which is the whole reason why we started Propel Bosses, was to provide a space of safety and security. Because I think one of the reasons why we work so well, you and I, is because we have a very trustworthy relationship where there's mutual respect, there's trust. I know you're not looking to do any harm to me, I'm not doing any harm to you, but we definitely, in the world outside of our entrepreneurial bubble, it's a crabs in a barrel mentality. And we have to unlearn that in order for us to become successful in whatever we do, whether it's relationships, whether it's work, whether it's spiritual health. We have to understand that everyone's not out, despite the hand I'm dealt, everyone is not out to do me any harm. And I'm safe. But unfortunately, being Black, that's not the case.
Never.
In America, that's not the case.
Never the case.
You always need to be on guard. You always need to have your head on a swivel. You always need to be hyper vigilant. And I think that bleeds into the work that we do. So it bleeds into the entrepreneurial space. It's not like I could turn it on and off. So if I have that, like, I don't trust y'all, I don't trust these folks. When you put your work hat on, it's not like all of your.
We know what you wanted to say, by the way. I felt that.
It's not like
y'all know
all
what you
these.
wanted to say. Y'all heard it.
Y'all, if you know me, you know I would never. No, but it's not like once you put your work hat on, all of your beliefs and value systems go away. You're still carrying all of that hurt into the work environment, and it shows. It shows, because if you're looking for this transactional quick, like, all right, yeah, I'll give you that, but you need to run me this, you're not going to be successful. Because I think in order to succeed as being an entrepreneur, you have to have a network.
Yeah, facts.
And that's not always going to have a dollar associated with that.
That's facts too. Big facts.
So
all right, so now another question. what do you say, not necessarily to the entrepreneur, but to the consumer who is not willing to support Black entrepreneurship until it's reached that pinnacle, until it's adopted by everybody, until it's reached that level of success to whereas there's no longer a risk, there's no longer a second thought involved in, you know, like supporting this business. Like, what do you say to those people? Because that's kind of triggering to me too. And it's once again, it's bad enough that we get that treatment from outside.
Just for existing.
From outside. But within, even the people amongst our community still have a problem with showing support when we're still, sprouts. They wait until we become a forest and then be like, yo, shout out. I mean, if you look at any, from art to entrepreneurship, like people, I do know people who, and most of these people are genuine hearted people, like they much prefer listening to indie artists. Like they're intentionally going and trying to find artists that haven't been discovered yet and giving them plays or, buying their merch, all that good stuff. But then there's other people that's like, they catch the wave, once the wave has hit the summit. Like, I don't understand. Like,
I think this is what I would say. One, I would butcher the quote, but I would still try to quote Desmond Tutu, who said, if you are mutual in situations, then you're siding with the oppressor. And I think that entrepreneurship is a very personal, but it's a revolution against a lot of systemic, oppressive, occupational work. We've been socially conditioned to go to work, go to college, figure it out within the 9 to 5 and put in your X amount of hours. But entrepreneurship is that radical, I'm not doing that. I'm doing something different in search of financial freedom, in search of social and economic security and stability. So for those of you who bear witness to anybody's plight as an entrepreneur and you turn your nose up, or you decide, you know what, I don't care that you're searching for freedom, I don't care that you're trying to do something different for you and your family, then one, shame on you, because that means that you're siding with a very oppressive system that you need to do that rat race. So I want to challenge the consumers to try something different and to sow seeds into community-based entrepreneurs and businesses that are trying to do something, especially those of us who have a really pure mission to do right with the community. Because if we sow seeds in our community, those seeds will grow. They might not grow today, they might not grow tomorrow, but if you want your community to be sustainable, you need to be sowing every day. Because we're reaping right now, and pretty soon those trees, those forests that Jarrell mentioned, are going to be barren because we've finished just taking from them. So whatever you take, for every time you go to Target or whatever time you go to some big box store, I want you to also plant. So every time you take, plant. So that's what I would say to all the consumers. I don't care what color you are, but that's the work that we need to do. That's the radical, for everybody who's saying, oh, I wish I could do social justice work. Oh, I wish I could rally, or I could advocate or call my legislation. If that doesn't align with you, you need to support small businesses, especially minority-owned businesses. That is a revolutionary act. That is social justice in the making. So write that down.
Facts. Write it down, all of it.
Jarrell might need to clip that and be like,
boom. Oh yeah, that's why I looked at the timestamp. I said, yeah, that's definitely going to be, we cutting that out. We cutting that out.
No, but that's from the heart. I genuinely mean that, because we've gotten so many things wrong within Western culture. Let's just be honest. Our educational system,
trash.
Our healthcare system,
trash.
Our judicial system, there's so many things. So now is the time, now that we're becoming more aware, I don't think this is how it's supposed to be. Now is the time to put in the work to change and to shift the cog in the system and figure out where do we want to go next, and let's shift our direction to wherever we want to go. Let's not keep doing status quo stuff. We know it don't work.
So and to piggyback off of that, it's another thing that triggers me, and it kind of coincides with that idea. But they talk. I talk about when you ride around. I don't know. We in Southern Maryland right now. So you ride around Northern Virginia, you ride around certain parts of DC. And you see so many mom and pop shops. You see so many small businesses, brick and mortar small businesses that have survived the pandemic. Like, and you like, yo, like how? And then you drive around our neighborhoods, all chains, right?
Boarded up.
Or boarded up. If there were small businesses, they're boarded up, and then everybody else is huge manufacturers, huge chains. Or small businesses of other, others. And so I saw this video clip, I think it was on Twitter, and it talked about redefining gentrification. When we say the word gentrification, it's become such a negative connotation in the Black community because of what it normally presents itself as. It normally presents itself as people coming into a low value neighborhood, pushing everybody out, and then raising the value of that neighborhood. Now that is not the definition of gentrification. That's colonization. The same thing that has happened to this entire country. You come in, you push out the people that's here, you raise the value of the space that you just took over. That's colonization. What gentrification is merely raising the value of a neighborhood, of a block. We can gentrify our own neighborhoods. I feel like Propel bringing SLOTH Wellness Lounge to this Southern Maryland area is a form of beginning gentrification, because with more services, with more businesses, whoever runs them, hopefully it's us, but we can still do that. They talked about a block. They talked about a block in New York. And they said they named it the Greenest block in New York City. It's a Black neighborhood. All of the row houses on that block are Black owned, but they took it upon themselves to come together as a community and say, we're going to plant trees, we're going to do a community garden, and all this other stuff. And that raised the property value of that block. So it's not a matter of thinking gentrification.
And that was gentrification.
That's literally the definition of gentrification.
Yo, I'm listening to him, right? But my skin is still
crawling. It's crawling.
Like that word is so heavily.
It's so heavily weighted
the
because
connotation
we
is
never
like,
because we don't view it as us having the power to do that ourselves. If you look at Jay-Z has been talking about this for years. So how do you wash all y'all that's playing the street, that's running and hustling, how do you clean your money? He literally said it in songs. How do you clean your money? Go and buy your block. Go and buy your block up and fix it up. That's gentrifying. Gentrifying doesn't mean pushing out the people that live there. Like I said, that is colonization.
But you see how oppressive grabs hold of so many different things and distorts
it. It's so embedded. And we're so.
It's literally in our DNA of our society. It's crazy.
And it's I like even the subtlety of changing the connotation of that word is first of all, it was definitely a purpose. It was on purpose. Like all of these little small things are still working for, like you said, the overall oppressive system. Thankfully, Propel and other companies, we're changing the mindset that we have the power to start to shake off these oppressive systems. And it starts with us changing our mindsets about stuff, yo.
Let me check this. Let me see. You know what? No.
Look it up.
No. That's not what I was going to say. No. I'm going to take you at your word. But I was saying that you teaching me right now, and hopefully teaching you guys right now, made me think of our wellness wheel and how the theme for this episode is intellectual wellness.
Facts.
Which focuses
transitions.
Which focuses on just being open to new experiences and new ideas that's going to elevate you and your just your overall health and well-being. So it's important to learn new things. It's important to be challenged, like have your mindset challenged so it can shift. So if you kind of think of gears, they sometimes if they're stuck, they need something to kind of get them back turning.
And they may creak. It may sound real nasty when it first start up, because unlearning it's probably harder. I would say that learning something new is hard enough, because a lot of people are kind of closed-minded in terms of how they think. They kind of set in their ways. But unlearning stuff and then relearning it is
that's
like
the work.
It's the real work. It's the real work.
That's really what you do in therapy.
Absolutely.
You get made aware of so many things that you've learned or picked up in the past, and you get to decide, is this helping me or is this hurting me? And then you get to figure out, how do I let go what's hurting me and adopt new habits and rituals that will make me a little bit healthier? That's essentially what you do in therapy.
And
but
if you think about the idea, even from a physical sense, they talk about like teenage boys. I know I was a victim of it. Teenage boys, probably between the ages of 13 and 17, it's been boys that have to go to like the emergency room for the pain in their bones. And they be like, what is happening? Like, why am I hurting so bad? And it's literally because our growth spurts are so much more like drastic in that age bracket that our bones and our joints literally hurt from the growth. So if you think about that
I'm pretty tall too, so I don't know why I don't know about this.
If you think about that from like you said, from a mental standpoint, from an intellectual standpoint, growth is uncomfortable. Like, it's really uncomfortable. So if you are in a space where you chilling and you don't feel no discomfort, just know that you're gonna stay right there in that spot.
Woo! Look at the timestamp. I don't know what it is.
just know you're gonna be stagnant. The minute that you get out of that, I mean, it's so cliche. Everybody has said, like, if you get out of that comfort zone, that is the first and the most prominent step in growth, because you cannot grow in comfort. Think about, we talk about the sprout. What do you have to do with a sprout? Once the sprout gets to a certain point, you got to take it about that pot, because it's no longer comfortable in that pot because it's too small for what it is. Like, you know what I'm saying? So you just got to realize that growth and that learning process. And the thing is, we are the generation of that. If beyond any other generation, now not to say that each generation hasn't put in their own work to push us forward, but if you look at the transition from us, well, you a 90s baby, right? Technically. Technically.
You ain't gonna hit me with such disrespect. First of all, I was born in 89.
Okay, so you're not a 90s baby. That's what I'm saying.
Baby.
Okay, so 80s baby. So but think about, I'm just gonna say.
But I am a millennial.
The millennials.
Which is what he's getting
Think about our millennial generation and the drastic acceleration through growth of knowledge, growth of technology, growth of just the world around us that we've had to grow up in. Like, to where we have never really got to settle. We've never had people in front of us to teach us what's going on because they're getting exposed to it just at the same time we are. We're literally a generation of the internet. Like, our parents had parents like, what is this little stuff? Go play your little games, and you better not be in them AIM messages talking nasty to them little girls and little boys. But that's what But yeah, like, so we've never gotten the opportunity to get comfortable. Like, because the minute that we start, I got a hang of this. Like, I even think about me and social media. Like, I'm literally a digital media professional, and we don't even get to get comfortable. Like, because it's the minute that you start being like, finally got the hang of this. It's like, oh nah. But did you hear about NFTs? Did you hear about it? I'm like, yo, like, metaverse, like, it's never stopping. So we are a generation that got to embrace growth, because we're setting the standard for everybody to come behind us to say, it's okay to be uncomfortable. It's okay to not know and learn, you know? So that's my caveat.
What's the one thing in line with the wellness wheel, in line with intellectual wellness, what's the one thing you want to learn this year to better your business, your Black business?
Wow, that's a really good question.
I'm asking y'all.
I really do want to continue. I mean, I've started to dabble in learning about like NFTs, only because being that, like I said, I'm a digital media professional, how digital art is being distributed as well as monetized is changing. So it's like learning and being kind of ahead of the curve in that, I think would definitely be beneficial, because I mean we put out so many good things, and not to say that our content, you know, we're seeking to our only goal for it is to make money. We're out here making content to try to impact people and change people's perspectives about stuff. But in hindsight, that can also make money as well. So learning the new peaks of digital art, man, it will be, I think, very beneficial to the business.
I like that. For me, if I could just learn one thing, it would probably be financial social work. There's this certification about financial social work. So first of all, shout out to all the social workers that are watching, because that profession is so vast. You can literally be a social worker in any field. So thank you. So financial social work talks about the emotion behind spending and saving. It's like the psychological connection to money. So all of the
money made me crazy.
You know. So all of the value systems and the beliefs that were put on you since you were growing up, and now, well, I know us millennials that went to college and have all that crippling debt. That's another layer of it. But there's a lot of trauma. There's a lot of grief and shame. There's a lot of things, thoughts and feelings associated with money, and a lot of the times it's subconscious, and we swipe or we save based off of all that deep-seated stuff. So financial social work kind of helps unpack that, so we can decide, are these healthy or are they hurtful habits, and how do we let them go in order for us to really attain the savings or the spending or the just the financial atmosphere that we want to achieve. And that's a little bit different than a traditional financial, like, oh, let's talk about budget, let's talk about credit, let's talk about debit. Because if your mindset doesn't shift, and if you don't unlearn all of the toxic habits or the values that have been associated with money, like, what does that get you?
Right.
Genuinely, just little piddly things like, do you have McDonald's money? That's a very deep, like, if we sat down and unpacked, what does that say to you at such a young age?
Right.
Like,
that means I have to be able to provide for myself in order to get the things that make me feel good.
There's so many nuanced, just regular cultural references that have been placed on us, and we've internalized those, and it affects our relationship with our money. So I want to learn that. I want to get certified in that, and then I want to offer classes and sessions here at the Wellness Lounge about financial
That is super
wellness.
dope. I'll be the first one to sign up for that. I'll be sitting in the front row,
please,
with pen and pad every day, because I realized, and what's crazy about specifically like Black people with money is because most of us, I won't say most of us come from
Well,
if we are coming from a family that, you know, has any level of economic security, it's very new. It's very new. So as you said, a lot of those impoverished mentalities work with the new money. I know, like my grandparents was, for example, both retired government workers, so they, you know, got their pensions and getting Social Security and stuff like that, but are so like like tight gripped on the resources that they have. Even my mom, like, you know, she also in the government, you know, and that's a lot of our stories for people that live in the DMV, because that was the most prominent way to become economically stable. And it's like, it's like, see, look, my money jumping out my pocket, yo. But yeah, like, so, and I was talking to my mom, like, you know, because I've really gotten into, like, you know, learning about it, like investing from, you know, stocks, and learning about the stock market, now going into like cryptocurrency and stuff like that. Ways to grow your money without doing stuff, like passive income opportunities. And it's like, she be like, I'm like, I got all the ideas, I got all the risk factors, you know, to do this stuff, but you got all the revenue and you kind of just, I'm like, you can even put it in a low risk market and make a little bit more than just it sitting in the bank. You know, all I'm like, well, I got my 401k. Yeah, that's cool, but you cannot do anything. You cannot touch that money. So how about doing something with the money that you have tangible and putting it in places that's going to grow it? Well,
they can't even hear those messages.
Like, what is you talking about? I ain't with that. Like, So I'm just like, you know, so changing the narrative around, you know, we kind of hoard our wealth because, like you said, psychologically we didn't have it or we don't have it. So when I actually do get it, not only do I not want to spread it around my community, working with other black entrepreneurs and stuff like that, but even within my family, I don't want to put myself in position to grow this money or grow this seed that I already have. I would rather, and I mean, for those of y'all who are biblically sound, we do know the parable of the you know, the folks that got some coins and what
say the talents.
You know what I'm saying, the talents and whatever. And we saw what happened to the dude who just held his joint or just buried it. You know what I'm saying? So take that money out of your mattress, go find you some low risk stocks, and try to grow your money. Because what we understand right now is that tangible dollars is becoming less and less valuable every moment. Find somewhere where at least your money is growing as much as inflation is shrinking it at the bare minimum. Your spending power needs to at least stay consistent with inflation.
That's one of the reasons why I want to do financial social work, because we can have all of this knowledge. We can have all of the understanding. Like, yeah, it makes sense to invest. However, there are legitimate barriers that impede us to actually move to action, to actually do these things. So financial social work really explores and breaks down all of the values and all of the ideas and all of the thoughts and the feelings we have around getting that money out the mattress. Like, why is it really explores the why is it so hard to let go of all of the values that I've held on to for 10, 20, 30, 40 years. That's what mom and them did. That's what uncle and them did, to shift into doing something new. So hopefully by the end of this year, we'll be able to have some classes.
Financial wellness classes coming to the Wellness Lounge. Right to your front door.
Boom.
Facts.
For financial freedom and economic mobility, because we're not trying to be stuck in whatever class we're in.
Once again, because if you stay stagnant, I mean, if you stay comfortable, you stay stagnant. And if you're trying to be mobile, it's going to take a little discomfort. It's going to take a little risk factor.
I mean, that's just facts.
But with the greater risk is the greater reward. That's what I've been taught. You know what I'm saying? So
it's true.
All right, man. So you want to get into this last? I was been waiting for this.
I clap right near the mic.
You want to get into this last segment?
I'm just gonna do an intro. Jarrell's gonna give a little inspo story as to how did we even get to this, and then run down the lineage of all the stuff coming to you during February, and I'm gonna just be like, yeah.
Facts,
okay,
facts.
So this is the Art of Expression segment of Feeling Triggered, where we talk about the arts and how it impacts us just emotionally, physically, just wellness and health overall. Like, what do we do for self-care? What do we do for self-worth? All that good stuff. So for the month of February, thanks to the Griotsphere, we have a whole theme of events. And so this podcast is just one of the many things that's coming out for the month of February. So we have a whole title. You can see the logo and a whole bunch of different things that you guys are going to want to be a part of. So Jarrell, before we even talk about all the different things that are coming our way, how did you come up with the title? What's the inspiration behind it?
Well, once, because of course the whole SLOTH Wellness Lounge has been a long process of curation.
Yes.
So, I was inspired by that. I was inspired by the idea, like, we finally have a space. We finally have a brick and mortar to not only that we can utilize for our curation, but we can offer to the community to be a hub for all the things that everybody's trying to do. All of our propelled bosses and, you know, everybody else. So that was kind of like the first step. So my idea was coming up with something right off the tail end of our grand opening that just happened.
If you weren't there, you missed it.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, you missed it. But you can go back and watch the video because it's up. It's up on this on the Artful Conductor YouTube page. So you can go watch that. You can watch that for sure.
Left out.
But yeah, so that was the start of it. So then I'm like, yo, February. What happens in February? Well, as we said, it's Black History Month. Y'all see my shirt? Y'all see my shirt? What'd that say? Big Black Energy. I'm always about giving, and I'm always about promoting and upping us. Because if we ain't going to do it, who going to do it?
My shirt says God is dope, just FYI. If we're sharing shirts, then that's just,
So-
but from a Black business.
So,
that's-
you know,
that's all.
so and of course also being that, you know, February is, you know, the month of Valentine's Day, so it's love month and all that stuff. I came up with the idea for the love of the people. Because we the people. We the people. You know, the Constitution and the preamble and all of that, it say we the people, and they know when they wrote it, they wasn't talking about us. But I'm talking about us. We the people.
There you
Okay?
have it.
We the people. So that was the first thing. So I'm like, how can we do something that's impactful to show our love for the people? You know what I mean? And so I came up with the idea to do an event series that's both digital events or content as well as in-person events to highlight the Wellness Lounge. All of them is surrounding wellness. All the events are surrounding wellness, and then all the content is surrounding wellness and geared towards the love of the people. So, without further ado, I'm gonna just give y'all a little rundown of what we got going on this month. Cause some of the things you might have already missed. Let me see where this is. This is it? Nope, that ain't it. Hold on.
He's
folks.
got so
Give me
many
2
different
seconds.
ideas, he just can't even recall them all.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure. Oh, hold on real quick. Go there. And
He's working over here off scenes
yeah,
on his
I'm
laptop.
I'm off screen real quick. Y'all can see me doing what I do. All right, boom, we got you. So now we're gonna pull this up so y'all can actually see what's happening. Y'all can also look at this on our website. I mean, on our Instagrams and all of that good stuff. So I'm gonna take that out the way for a second, so y'all can see exactly what we got going on. All right.
TV
So-
magic.
We got For the Love of the People content and event series. On the left side of this flyer, you see all the content. So, of course, Feeling Trigger Podcast, we had to do a special For the Love of the People
For the
episode. This episode is entitled For the Love of Black Business. Because as y'all heard, we talked all about the peaks and the valleys, the pluses and minuses of being Black entrepreneurs. Because that's what we are. You know what I'm
Facts.
saying? So we represent y'all.
Facts.
Because I know it's a lot of y'all watching. Once again, shout out to my propelled bosses and any other, whether you actually have came to a meeting and actually joined the team, or you just out there working and trying to do what's best, not only just for yourself, but for your community, you can wear the label as a propelled boss too. You're not excluded. But if you in the area and that's you, pull up, because we got love for you. You got a community here. So don't be out there by yourself.
Every second Friday.
You know what I'm saying?
We here.
By yourself. So we got first, we got For the Love Podcast, right? For the Love Podcast is me, 2 other black men, black artists, and we get on a podcast and we literally talk about black love and relationship from the male perspective.
What? Black love from the male perspective. Ladies, we need to watch this podcast.
And really it is, because what I realized, you know, being on TikTok, man, I'm a lover of podcasts if y'all don't know that already. But what I've seen is, you know, there's a gray cloud that's kind of hovering over men's podcasts, because I feel like there's been so long since we've had platforms to kind of just express ourselves that a lot of the expression that's happening seems very toxic, right? It's a lot of it, and I'm not to say all, but a lot of the ones that are gaining acclaim or gaining prominence, getting an audience, is them getting on there and complaining about women. And I didn't really like that, because I'm like, whether you have your own feelings or your own concerns and your own experiences that might not be always the best, just sitting back and complaining about it ain't changing nothing. A lot of it, what we don't realize is when we get into these tit for tats, well, women ain't this, men ain't that, it's just dividing us even more as a black community. So my thoughts were coming up with For the Love podcast is to really be introspective. So you're gonna turn on, it's up now, because as you saw, it dropped the first week of February. So check out that on Awful Conductor. But we got on there and we was really being introspective. I was asking it and we were answering questions that didn't have nothing to do with what women were doing in a relationship, what women were doing as a part of this whole exchange, this love exchange. We talked a lot about our own personal experiences, what we thought and felt, and how we can be better in presenting and showing up in these relationships that could ultimately turn the tables. You know what I'm saying? Because when you go into a situation and you know that you are putting your best foot forward, you can't come out of that any type of, in my opinion, you can't come out of that any type of way but feeling okay. Mm-hmm. If it doesn't go well after that, then that just means it wasn't meant for you. But if you just making sure that you present your best self, that's what counts. And that's the kind of the premise that I wanted to come from. So it's myself. I am yes. Now that y'all watching this, I'm newly engaged. So shout out to that. So I was the long-term relationship into engagement representative. My man Avery De La Ghetto Collins. Y'all can follow him at AC Rap Lyricist on Instagram. He is he's an artist, he's a poet, a hip hop artist, as well as an actor, and he is married. So he's giving the married perspective. And then my man Nico Ramos, he is also a poet and actor. You can catch him blazing any busboy and poet stage in this area. He been doing that. He really picked up the pace this season, this past season, and really doing his thing. So shout out to him. And he's giving the single guy perspective. And all of them, like I said, we ain't talking about women. We talking about us. So women who want to watch it, and don't feel that you're going to watch it and automatically be triggered, because if you are triggered, then that might still speak to something. But we're not going to trigger you negatively. That's what I'll say. Because even we're here on feeling triggered. So regardless, it could trigger you. But as we said, some things, once you get some level of awareness of it, it's like, is this helping me or is this hurting me?
Yeah,
and then you can make that up. You can use it as info. So check that out right now. It's up. Of course, Feeling Trigger podcast is going to be, y'all are watching that now, so y'all know, how we get down. We've been getting down. I mean, you know what I'm saying? This been consistent.
It's what we do.
And so then lastly, for those of y'all who are interested in hearing more about this whole engagement and stuff, y'all can check out the Chronicles podcast. That's going to be dropping, what date that say? The 18th of February. So that's next Friday. Mm-hmm. Y'all can check that out. And it's basically, what's the word I'm looking for? Chronologization?
Okay.
Basically,
we'll allow it.
Basically, just giving a rundown from start to finish of how we came about. You know what I mean? I feel like we have a very unique story.
Who's this we?
Y'all know Jasmine. Y'all know Jasmine Nicole. Y'all seen her last. You know what I'm saying? When we had our couples meet. If y'all didn't see that episode, go back and check that out. We got so much content, bro. It's crazy. Mm-hmm. But if y'all didn't see that, y'all can get a little briefing of our story. But J. Nicole, that's Bay. We have a very unique story because we both artists. We collaborated on a lot of things. We both actually were a part of the the inaugural collaboration between Propel Productions. So, you know, we have our own entity, J123. And so we just give y'all a whole breakdown of how that came about and all the stages.
The feels.
Yes, so it's, you know, it's called the precursor because it's, you know, everything that happened before the now. All right, so, and that's going to be ongoing. So after this, we dropping it in bulk. So it's going to be about four, five episodes. So you can binge that. It's about 2 episodes of the For the Love podcast. So y'all can go binge that. And we might keep them going all the way into the new year, into 2022.
Okay.
All right, so all of these things.
Right, because now we're going to want to hear about the wedding.
Facts. So that's the next stage. So we're going to talk about through engagement. We may bring some other couples on there. So, you know, Lauren and Mike, y'all might see them again.
We'll be there.
On the Chronicles podcast.
We'll be there.
And so that is the content, all right? And that is the reason why I decided to do so much content is because we are launching Artful Conductor TV.
Right here.
Artful Conductor TV. That's the collaboration between the Griotsphere and Propel. We got so many collaborations. You know what I'm saying?
No, we really do.
Because we just out here working. You know what I'm saying? We out here working. All right. So those are all the things that's gonna be launching the Artful Conductor TV on YouTube. So make sure y'all go and check that out. Now, moving on to the events.
Wait, there's more?
There's more. First things up, we got For the Love Mixer and Pop-Up Shop. So that's actually tomorrow for those of y'all watching right now as we drop. Tomorrow, February 12th, we having a mixer right here at the Wellness Lounge. Going to be drinks on deck. We got Phenomenon cocktails, man.
Pull up.
Make sure y'all check them out. They got some dope deals happening. They do custom cocktails for your event, your party. They
Signature
do full
cocktails?
service bar if you want it. They do, it's so much, man. Y'all just make sure y'all check them out. But they gonna be representing any other, we got a bunch of vendors, Propel bosses that's coming and going vend. So
this is the time to support Black business.
Absolutely. So
Okay,
make
so pull
sure
up.
if you haven't done so already, because we've been promoting this since last month. If you haven't done so already, right now go to Eventbrite, buy a ticket. We may be doing tickets at the door too, but you just know it might be a little bit more.
I'm about to say. We'll
So
see.
get them pre tickets. You know what I'm saying? Get the tickets right now, so you ain't gotta pay as much. You could come have a good time with us, and it's gonna be just basically a celebration.
Get them right away. Don't be waiting till the last minute. Don't be those people.
Don't wait.
It's
Right
a new
now.
year.
Go right
New
now
year,
and get
new
it.
you.
Because tomorrow when we have it, you gonna have to pay more. And we don't want you to do that. We want you to get in on a good foot. Okay? So check us out. For the Love Mixer. Now, this the one I'm excited about.
Okay.
This is the one I'm excited about.
I felt like he was excited all the way up to this point, so let's see how
This
he
is the one I'm
delivers.
excited about.
Okay.
On February 19th, okay? February 19th, I have my very first Griotsphere produced short film that is going to be premiering here at the Wellness Lounge. So it's going to be a screening of my short film starring Jarrell the Griot and J. Nicole. So you about to see
Producing and starring.
Oh my
Directing.
goodness. Oh my
What?
goodness. Oh my goodness. Written, directed, and produced by your boy. Y'all get to see Jarrell.
Y'all gonna have to see this.
Y'all get to see Jarrell the Griot and J. Nicole playing 2 completely different characters that don't have nothing to do with us. Of course, we're going to lace it with a little, because you got to pull from somewhere as an actor.
You do.
I'm trying to get my thespian on. You feel
Okay.
me? So that's gonna be dope. So we're gonna have a cool screening, and we're gonna have a little open dialogue there too, man. I called it a panel discussion, but it ain't really gonna be that. We ain't gonna have like a little table panel. We just gonna be in an open group, and we just gonna be asking questions to get down to the
Real
bottom.
chill.
Now, why did I call this film Love But Black? Because it got a lot of oomph behind that title. So y'all know when y'all watching normal love stories, movies, you know what I'm saying, the age-old romantic rom-coms or whatever, when it's not us, it's other people. It's real simple and plain.
It is.
They meet, They enjoy.
Just
They
regular
get to know
folks.
each other.
Yeah.
They fall in love. It's blissful. They ride off into the sunset.
They
together.
do.
Real simple stuff. But every time they depict us in love, it's so much trauma.
So heavy.
It's so heavy.
So
It's so much, so much stuff that is involved with us just having a good, healthy love. So this
Right.
story is giving you on the surface a regular love story.
You mean to tell me black people can be regular on film?
Oh my goodness, yes. And we ain't all glamified. You see, y'all, I got my hair away today, but I got regular black hair. She got regular black hair. She ain't BBL'd up. You know what I'm saying? Not to say nothing's wrong with if that's what you do. We love y'all too. But we just want to show that it's more than just this glamorized version of black folk that is just as healthy, just as impactful. A story that's just as true. So that's why it's called love. And I say but black because it's a little nuance, a little
we
caveat,
gotta put a little seasoning on
there
Got
that's going to kind of
little
still
culture.
allude to not the trauma, but some of the
culture.
like some of the culture and some of the underlying things that in order for us to have this healthy love, we have to kind of step over, if you will.
Okay.
So
I saw how he did that.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta get, because it's some obstacles. Just because of what we've been through, it's some obstacles you gotta step over in order to be in this healthy type of love. And we're gonna present that in a really cool way. So also shout out Cinema Black. It's my man Brandon. That's his production company. He's a dope artist, dope cinematographer that has co-directed this with me. So shout out to him, man. For helping me put this project together. So make sure y'all come out to that. That is a absolutely free event. Of course, the Wellness Lounge will be taking donations though. So if you do have it to give, please donate. But like I said, the event is free. So pull up to that, man. We're gonna have a great time, and that's gonna be a good inaugural thing. Cause we got plenty more stuff. We got plenty more things coming. Short films, long films. I'm looking to do some series. So if we got any writers out there, hit me up, cause we trying to, like I said, we trying to tell black stories out here, man. So that's what that is. Now, to cap this whole month off, cause Propel Bosses, the Griotsphere, Propel Productions, it's all about the arts, baby. It's all about the arts.
It is.
You feel me? So we had to finish the month off collaborating with Rhythm Visions production company,
Look at that.
which you also work with them as well, huh?
I do.
Yes. So we are collaborating with Rhythm Visions production company to host the For the Love of Black Art open mic right here at the Wellness Lounge. Okay. And I got a little surprise for y'all. We haven't actually marked it and set it in stone yet, but I think y'all gonna like it. It's gonna be some things that's coming. I ain't need to tell Lauren about it. We're gonna talk about it
I'm over
offline.
here like, what?
We're gonna talk about it offline because I haven't put it set in stone yet. But man,
Okay.
show up, bro. Show up. $7. $7 because we wanna make sure this particular surprise.
You're planting seeds.
You planting seeds because, as we said, man, this is gonna be ongoing. We got something happening every quarter. You know what I'm saying? So $7, come out. If you're an artist, we want to hear your art. Whether you dancing, whether you singing, whether you want to do a monologue, you want to do a live painting, whatever it is that you want to do, please come out. That's gonna be the last event, Friday, February 25th. It's lit. The whole month is lit.
I'm excited. I'm excited.
So man, I had to just, I had to let them know what was coming. Cause it's a lot. There's a lot of things happening.
It was.
It's a lot of things happening. But all else to say, man, we are I'm just feeling blessed right now. That's all I can say. I'm just feeling so blessed. I'm feeling so blessed. It's no words.
Well, I know that we toasted
No
in the
words.
beginning. I feel like we should toast in the end too because 2022.
Oh man, it's going up and up and up, and
It's
it's gonna get stuck. Matter of fact, no, it's not gonna get stuck because we just talked about being stagnant.
Oh, you're right.
It ain't
you're
no
right.
ceiling. It's
We need
no
to
ceilings.
retoast. No
It's
ceiling.
no ceiling. Shout out to Wayne, another black artist.
Okay.
Shout out to you. So, you want to do this little commercial real quick before we head out? Before we cut this? Watch this. You ready? Watch this. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
You liking this content? Are you enjoying seeing these black faces?
You are.
Talk about
Admit
black
it.
issues. Talk about black excellence and black success, black art, black mental health, all that good stuff. Make sure you subscribe to the Artful Conductor TV YouTube page. Make sure you hit that notification button so when we drop something, you the first to know about it. That's what you want to be. You want to be in the know. Because if you're not in the know, then it's just no. You feel me?
Write that down.
Write it. Set it in stone. It's stamped.
You saw that.
If you ain't in the know, then it's no. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, man, and keep coming back because we got so much more for y'all. We hitting y'all over the head with so much, not just content, because it's bigger than that.
Oh, yeah, it's not
It's
confident.
bigger than content. It's impactful, inspiring, positive content.
Educational
content. Empowering content.
Yes.
All right? So make sure I hit that subscribe button.
See you soon.
All right, now you want to cut right there, or you want to actually do an outro?
I could do an outro. All right, you guys. So thank you so much for watching us. Feeling triggered, obvi, but specifically for the love of black business. Hopefully you got something. You might have even got a little triggered, and that's okay.
Just a little bit.
Because that just shows you where you need to heal, to grow, to learn. And we're here with you, right beside you, to talk all things black business, entrepreneurship, black art, all that. So come back, visit us. We can't wait to see you in the next episode, and we'll see you soon.
Blessings and favor. Peace.
Do you need me to do a commercial too?
Yeah, I can pull one more.
System malfunction. System override. I'm feeling triggered!
Hey y'all, it's your girl Lauren Jones with Propel Production Center.
And I'm Jarrell the Griot with the Griotsphere Productions.
And we are collaborating to bring you Artful Conductor TV. So make sure you subscribe, you hit that like button, the notification bell, all the other things that YouTube is probably making you do at this point to make sure you're in the know of when we drop new content for you.
Why? Because if you ain't in the know, then it's a no.
I don't know if that's gonna stick. I don't.
I'm gonna just leave that because I like